Oh. That's just one of these. Sure come. Wow. I should go to sleep. I'm popping. So, I don't know what you have. Maybe it's like this go through this. Pick their brains. Pick their brains, bro. Who wants to run this life? Who wants to run this life, right? Who wants to run that life? Who wants to run this life? Who wants to run this fucking life? Nobody wants to run this life, because this life... Who wants to run this life? Run it. Run it for me. I'll hold my own. I believe it takes everybody to come after me. And that's fine. I'll be that 7-Eleven nigga for real. You don't know the light skin predominantly in Africa. Africans don't have to be dark skinned, right? To be African. So you don't have to be a black American to be fucking American. You mixed ass quadroons. You mixed ass quadroons. Please. Please, bro. Come on. 4? 6. Okay. Not too much to get to that. Oh my god, you fucking laced me. You laced me, bro. You laced me up, bro. What are you making? Yo. Yo, come on, bro. Oh my god. Yo, bro, do you wanna answer some of the questions on top? No, Nevada's here too. Alright. So what's happening? Yo. I guess. Okay.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on? Northwest, I'm trying to invite you up too. How's it going, brother? Welcome to the panel. Can you introduce yourself with your race, your ethnicity, where you're from?
Sure. Nigerian American, born in the United States, from Jersey, I guess.
Okay. Welcome to the panel, brother. Do you want to address one of the questions in the panel?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll go with the first one. Who really decides your job or position in America? FBAs or white T corporations or the owners? Yeah. So, it's definitely like the white T corporations. I mean, FBAs being in power, that's almost laughable. I mean, it's actually insane. They don't run, reputable companies. I wouldn't want to work for one of them. It's just, if I want to go work or make actual good money, some of the things that I find is that I'm speaking to a white hiring manager, and they're usually ones that's making the decisions. It's never usually a black American. It's always someone, either an Indian, white man, or a Chinese guy. But they don't really have power. It's not their country, so I don't see how they would, you know, be the decision makers.
They're
Well,
they're very
go ahead.
divided to even have any power. They're so divided, it's not even funny.
Yeah, and then on top of that, when they do get power, there's always some type of scandal going on. You guys heard about that thing in Atlanta? I believe the district attorney or the attorney general she was sleeping with somebody or something like that, and siphoning funds and giving it to her boyfriend. Yeah, she's also the one that I believe she started the RICO case against Young Thug.
Yeah, they're very divided. If you go to New York, NYC, for instance, they're when it comes to home ownership, they don't have any homes. They're living in NYCHA, in the New York Housing Authority. They've been there for quite the time. They have this culture where they glorify Section 8 housing, and they say, I'm not giving up my apartment. I pay this much, but they don't have any equity. If you go to the Bronx, most people that own over there are not Black American. If you go to Brooklyn, it's all West Indian people that own the homes in Canarsie. Those beautiful homes are all owned by Caribbean people that work and come. It's really sad. When you go to Queens, it's the same thing. You might have a little bit, but it's mostly Bengalis and West Indians, and their home ownership in that city is very low, and many other cities as well. If they live in homes, some of them in Philadelphia, they're run down and very bad.
Yeah, and dude, their fraud is worse than what's happening in Minnesota right now.
Oh, it's 10 times worse.
It's 10 times.
The problem with them is they move like they don't move as a unit. They move very individualistic. They'll count like money in front of another guy and say, yo, you don't get this bread. You don't get it like me. Like there's this bragging culture. They don't work with each other. It's very bad.
Can you introduce yourself too, brother? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm Somali and I'm 30 years old. And yeah.
And where are you from, North?
Well, I'm a dual citizen. I'm Canadian and American.
Okay, gotcha, brother. So yeah, I agree with both of you guys. And just think about the head honcho of all the fraud, right? It came back to a white woman, right? What was her name?
Northwest.
In Minneapolis, the one.
Oh, Amy Brock.
Amy Brock, thank you.
Bro, I knew about that. I knew about that since 2022.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now they're finally putting it out there, right? But it's obviously what we know. So, again, I'm making parallels to the NFL and Black people within that organization, and seeing how Black Americans have achieved so much within the NFL organization, right? Just like Black Americans within the American government, right? And even to this day, Black Americans within the NFL have achieved so much, right? We got the first Black quarterback, right? Or we have MVPs, we have yardage that Black people are seeking, accomplishments through this organization, just like Black American within the YT dominant society, right? So these are the parallels that I'm making, right? NBS, thank you for that. Do you want to answer any other questions before I go to North?
Yeah, definitely. I'll answer. I'll just go down the list here. If NFL owners benches FBA over Tether, do you do you get a vote? All right. So I feel like if a FBA gets benched over a Tether, the Tether is definitely better. But I'm not sure what you mean by do you get a vote, and do you mean in terms of
So do they have a say, right? Like so a lot of Black Americans or FBAs would be like, you're tethering, you're undermining us because you want to take our jobs. Right? So if there's a lot of African immigrants that are NFL players too. Yeah. And let alone a Black American that has some affinity to Africa or half African, half Black American. So this is the parallels that I'm working with. So that's the context, right? So they don't have a say because the people that they invested for, if you get benched and an African plays your spot, right? Who are you going to complain to?
the white coach, definitely.
Right. Just like the white man that invited immigrants to come to America, right? They think that we're coming here to
we migrate, we immigrate, right? And some do it off their own merit, right? We got
Yep.
doctors, we got people that America gets the best everywhere, right? And so same thing with the NFL, they get the best of the best. But obviously in the NFL there are limitations, right? There's not black coaches as much as there are black players that make a hard labor, right? All that hard work, all that CTE damage, right? Have you guys ever seen the movie Concussion?
No, I
Will
don't think I
Smith.
watched that one. Oh, concuss. Yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a Nigerian brother, right? That that advocated for he was a
Yeah.
neuroscience. I can't remember. Sorry, guys. But he vouched for checking up on people's like mental or brain capacity when they're taking these big hits, you know. And so he obviously saw that all this damage, you know, all these impacts, all this labor has a toll, you know. And so he made it aware to the NFL, but they cut him off for a bit until he made it apparent that this is an issue in the NFL. So again, this is an African. Remember this, guys. This is an African immigrant that
Wow.
made it known to the NFL that this was an issue, you know. And so I do want to play a video because I'm butchering it up right now. And I'm kind of fucked up. I'm kind of waking up, kind of hungover. But these are the questions that FBAs don't want to answer because it's so familiar with what's happening right now about how people are allowed to be here or not. So let's just take this with a player perspective, right? People get drafted, we get picked by the owners. They're an investment. They are the chopping block. They are the auction block about their labor to the sport, you know? And so we don't, you know, like NFL quarterbacks, right? Was the issue. Michael Vick. Remember Michael Vick?
Yeah.
You and even then, like you have the first black quarterback that won a Super Bowl, right? That's an achievement for black Americans, right? But under the guise of this whole corporation that discriminates, that criminalizes, that focus on temperament, how they behave, how they celebrate, how they act out of line. So there's always fines accrued to that, and there's also like your behavior within this establishment. So that's the part that I'm saying it's like the criminalizing aspect to it, right? So YT players like Brett Favre, right? The biggest welfare fraud agent. I don't know if you guys have heard.
Yeah, I think I seen. It was on the news. I think recently, right? About a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago. You're right.
There was a
But
big, there was one, yeah. There was a big Medicaid fraud. I was just seeing it on the FBI or the State Department website, where its majority was YT people. They were billing there were doctors that were flying in from Estonia and Europe, and they were setting up fake clinics and stuff. In all 50 states, they were doing it. There's not a state that they, except for maybe
Damn.
Alaska.
right. So we just talked about who was the main like corporate of all the fraud, and it's not a Somali. You know what I mean? And so same with the NFL. So I'm just making parallels between.
Yeah.
Right?
I see.
How about
So
insider trading? They've been doing that for many years. Insider trading is a
Yeah,
big.
Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, they do
Right.
insider trading like no tomorrow.
yeah, they do bets, right? They know how. This is all entertainment purposes, right? It's not even a real game because people already know who's going to win, who's going to right. But on top of that, are Black Americans or Black immigrants that are in the NFL are taking the labor, they're taking the cost of entertaining YT people, right? or this is why they have a high bid for them, right? The highest bidder gets to pick the most talented, the strongest, the tallest, the
I see.
So,
kind of
anyways, regardless of the fact, they choose who is part of the team and who's not part of the team. So the same thing that Americans here or immigrants and people that immigrate here, and who gets jobs and who doesn't. It's really not an undermine when people get invited here, or when Americans destabilize other countries like Africa, right? And then they come here on their own merit through education or through, you know, being doctors or being like. So again, it's a melting pot here, but they pick and choose who they want here because America grabs all its best, right? So my whole thing about this is about how Black Americans within the NFL industry or corporation or organization, they are still discriminated on, right? The brother that brought up the CTE aspect, they still didn't want to pay out Black Americans because they 5 years ago, right? They didn't want to pay them out because they thought they were not competent enough, not they didn't have the wherewithal to fit these positions, right? So that's my whole get-go. I know I'm lacking right now, bro. NBS, you got to carry me right now.
I got you. I definitely see where you're getting at, and I see the parallels. It's very parallel to what's going on in NFL, especially with the FBAs and stuff, right? And it really gets you to think, like, why you see there's so many Black Americans in the NFL, right? And they know that money's probably coming right back. It's not leaving the country, you know. So that's why you do see some Nigerians joining things like that, but they know the FBAs and what they spend their money on. They know that it's not going to be used to buy assets. They know it's going to be used to buy liabilities that'll only fuel and make the white man richer. You know, their spending power is a lot, but what do they have to show for it? You know, and it's really funny. It's really funny. They're definitely getting played. And then all that misdirected anger for the immigrants. I know what it really is. You know, I know exactly what it really is. And, you know, I feel like there's a lot of people that's trying to join in on that movement, on that FBA movement, you know, thinking, okay, yeah, you know, solidarity with the Black Americans. But it's not really like that. You know, I honestly feel like someone is behind that movement. Definitely either like a white man or, you know, I mean, Tariq Nasheed, he could have been like the person that started it, but man, it's honestly insane. And I don't know why Tariq is also in Senegal right now. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, Jollof rice. He's eating it right now.
Bushmeat, man.
Again, yeah, Black Americans FBAs are lining up his pockets off the ideology, obviously. But you're definitely right about that. So again, man, I'm just trying to make the parallel with the NFL because it's so apparent about how they get paid out, right? To fit in. They're not fighting back. Kaepernick, he
Oh yeah.
he had a knee, right? Look at all these people. They have a knee, right?
Yeah.
Every time an injured player goes down, they put a knee down, right? But he put a knee down during, what was it?
I believe Black Lives Matter. What was? I can't even remember.
I think it was Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think so. And then he did that as he didn't stand up and sing the song, right? The Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, he took a knee.
Yeah. And so that was a big deal. But regards to the fact, so obviously, like, here, let me play something for you, NBS, because I'm pretty fucked up right now. Let me play something for you to give you some context, okay? And I already know you know, but I mean, yeah. Here, let me give you some context. Hold on. And I want you to pay attention to oh shit. I want you to pay attention to these brothers talking about this real quick. Let me give you this. Football sells unity every Sunday, but was built on segregation every day before that. Like the same league that preaches inspired change used to literally ban black players. Not unofficially, not quietly, but deliberately. That's the part the NFL doesn't like to replay. Because football might be America's favorite sport, but it's also one of its most American stories, built on race, profit, and power. When professional football started in the early 1900s, there were only a handful of black players. Men like Fritz Pollard and Bobby Marshall. Pollard was so good they couldn't ignore him. The first black head coach in NFL history back in 1921. But by 1933, that all changed. Team owners, led by Washington's George Preston Marshall, quietly agreed to ban black players from the league. No rules written down, just racism enforced by a handshake. And for 12 years, not a single black player was allowed to suit up. They called it maintaining the image of the game. But what they meant was keep it white for the fans. The ban didn't end until 1946, a year before Jackie Robinson integrated baseball. That's when the Los Angeles Rams wanted to use the city's public stadium. And black journalists and activists said, not unless you integrate. That pressure forced the Rams to sign Kenny Washington and Woody Strode, both UCLA legends who had been shut out of the league for a decade. And just like that, football had its integration moment. But it wasn't progress out of conscience. It was progress out of pressure. And that became the NFL's pattern. Even after the ban ended, discrimination didn't. Black players could play, but not lead. They were steered away from the thinking positions like a quarterback or a coach. Scouts called them natural athletes, but never strategic minds. In the 1970s, black players dominated the field, but team ownership stayed nearly 100% white. In the 1980s and 90s, every black quarterback was treated like a social experiment. Doug Williams won the Super Bowl MVP in 1988. And white commentators asked how it felt to be a black quarterback. Fast forward to today. Black athletes make up about 60 to 70% of the NFL's players, but there's only a handful of black coaches and 0 black majority owners. They love our labor, they just don't trust our leadership. So yeah, football looks like unity now. End zones painted with end racism, commercials about justice and players taking a knee. But behind all that PR is a sport built on the same hierarchy that it claims to resist. From Fritz Pollard to Colin Kaepernick to Shedeur Sanders, every era of football had its own way of punishing black excellence. First with bans, then with bias, then with silence. Because in America, even when a scoreboard says equal, the system still calls the plays.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's like the whites, they own it, you know, and then you just have this this underclass, you know, of blacks just either playing the sport, you know, or just falling in line. You know, it's funny. It's funny. And then what I'm really trying to see is like, do FBAs really think, you know, that or do they want? Well, it's obvious that they do want the power. It's like I think they want the immigrants to be their underclass, you know, or they're slaves in to put it that way. They want their turn to basically be the masters. That's kind of how I like to put it. You know, it's honestly insane. You can see like in sports and NBA, right? Look at what I'm not sure if you remember that beef between Harden and Giannis, right? It's like he was just talking about how Giannis just runs and dunks it, you know. And Giannis, you know, he didn't even he never talked bad about anyone. He was fairly new inside the NBA, but a lot of these black athletes just started going with the same rhetoric, just running and dunking. Next thing you know, he won a championship. You know,
Harden's like a point guard, right?
Yeah.
So again, like his position, like, but he hates on how other people excel, you know, in the sport, and they see how. So same thing, brother. Some people are skilled, some people aren't, and so but it's not up to us to decide who's allowed to be here, who's not. Right? Just the same way, if you're benched because of other qualified player that fit that role. So exactly, right. Let me play this next one for you, brother. This is okay. This is Tariq Nasheed. All right, ready? Tariq Nasheed talking about football.
And during slavery on plantations just like this, the French was dominating this area. And whenever there were black people who ran away from the plantations, they would get branded. And the brand would be a logo of the French heraldry. It's the fleur de lis. And they would get branded on their shoulder, or they would get branded on their cheek with this fleur de lis logo. And what's interesting about this logo, now today, this same logo is the logo for the New Orleans Saints football team. Wow. So a football team dominated by black people playing today are walking around with logos of runaway slaves.
That's insane.
I just found that one.
It's
The NFL makes you hate the NFL, the way they treat the players, especially black players.
In a January 2022 interview with the New York Times, you discussed possibly suffering from CTE. Where are you at with that? Is that something that's...
Oh, yeah. And of course, I'm not the same guy I was. Like, even after I retired, you don't know. Like right now, I got onsets of Parkinson's. I got to take a medication for Parkinson's. I'm going to tell you this, the sad thing about this whole deal is that with the NFL, and look, I just love playing football. And the NFL makes you hate the NFL, the way they treat the players, especially black players. So you probably you ever heard of race norming? They race norm the black players, race norm us.
Break that down, though, because I remember reading about that.
So what they'll say is, okay, take the black player and the white player. The white player was already smart. The black player was not smart already. If he comes down, the white player should get paid, but the black player shouldn't get, because he was already dumb, basically. He was already kind of dumb. So,
and this wasn't even that long ago, though.
Oh, this was like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
And they said that, we won't do it again. It's like when we get hurt, like right now, it's in the case with them for Parkinson's and CTE. We get so many that get denied. Give you a great example. My friend Christian Okoye. Nigerian name. I was teased about it the other day. He had that accent. He's going for a CTE case. And the race norming thing came in, saying that, well, he's Nigerian, so maybe he couldn't speak good English. He don't understand.
Crazy.
I was teasing him. I said, maybe they're right.
He's teasing, right? Maybe they're right because he has an accent. He's Nigerian, right? Same kind of consequence about being dumb, right? Or not fitting in, not assimilating.
Yeah.
So here he is talking about CTE. We just talked about it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's so funny to me to hear that because a Nigerian was the one to diagnose that and bring it to the NFL.
Bring it to the limelight. Like it's sad.
Yeah.
How could they even someone like that, especially? Does he? I'm not even sure if he even thought about something like that. I mean, if you look before CTE was even brought into play, right? Before the Nigerian guy even brought it up, were they really just running around, smashing their heads into each other? Not thinking, well, maybe this could harm me. They like to say how Africans are dumb, how we don't have any inventions. We have a lot of we have a lot of inventions. I believe, is it the C-section? I believe, isn't that something West Africans created?
C-section?
The cesarean section.
The C-section, like in a pregnancy?
Yeah.
I don't know that. Go
Yes,
ahead.
it was West African, something like that. I can't even remember the exact details, but even other things like mathematics, medicine, like compounding medicine and stuff like that. That a lot of that, started. And this is written down in history. You can search this up. It's in in Africa. It started in Africa.
Medicine, math, science. Of course, yes. Again, I only like to pick that apart because that's the kind of rhetoric that FBA would say, right? You don't sound like a FBA, right? Your accent, you don't sound like you're an American, and they use it as a xenophobic kind of talking point, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's just like it shows the patriotism or the nationalism within Black Americans. All this indoctrination that has happened.
Yeah, it definitely indoctrinated. I mean, and on top of that, there's like, how can you be so loyal to a country that did this to you? And then on top of that, you have no power in that country. I mean, it's the best option is to, follow what the Pan Africans are doing. I feel like, for them, but it's just face the fact that you'll be permanently an underclass in the United States. I don't see another black president, a true black president, happening ever. Well, within the next 30 years.
Yeah, the last president that they voted for was a tether, right? Barack Obama.
Exactly.
Half Kenyan, half whitey. Okay? But again, so yeah, they built everything, but they built it for somebody else, right?
Yep.
They didn't. They want to be foundational, but they forget about how they built it for the whitey organization, the government, right, or the NFL league, right?
Yeah.
And they want to just punch down. They never want to go to the root of the problem. So same thing with the 14th Amendment, NBS, right? They say that they created that for all of us to get into, right? But they forget about how white people had to legislate it. They were a part of it because of how the pressure to white people about how they were treating their property came to a close. So when the 14th Amendment got done, the first people to get rights under the 14th Amendment was the white woman, right?
Yeah.
And then the European immigrants, right? But there's no smoke for them. There's just smoke for the recent African immigrants that just got here through that amendment, which they're rolling back on.
They're rolling back on it?
Well, FBAs want to make you think like that, right? Like you're an anchor baby, right? Your parents are you're first generation, second generation. You don't belong here. You will be shipped back. So again, there's two pathways of citizenship. It's the naturalization, and then there's the birthright, right? And they always forget about the birthright. But again, I don't know what's going to happen with Trump and this current administration, but this is the kind of rhetoric with this current administration that people parrot, and this is what the FBAs are doing, right? Because they think they're the premium black. They're the only black people that have been under the thumb of white tea supremacy. So they want the check. They want the reparations check. FBAs.
Yeah. They definitely do. I don't see the reparations coming now. I really don't see it. I don't see how people would actually choose to say, okay, this part, my taxes were raised. Went towards reparations for only black people. It just doesn't make any sense, and I wouldn't feel comfortable paying. Having that money come out of my checks at all.
Right. We pay out Ukraine. We pay out Israel. We pay out Argentina. Uncle Sam gets paid out regardless, but they're so focused about how we are undermining them, and it's a scarcity mindset, right?
It is definitely scarcity mindset. And we're not even coming to try and run it or run America. We're just coming with our heads down, just trying to survive. That's where I just found out about FBA about 4 or 5 months ago. So when I came online, I'm just like, wow, the smoke is here, man.
Heavy.
It's heavy. I mean, I would see the smoke. Growing up, they would definitely talk crazy to Africans, like they were an underclass. I could see it, and I could be like, okay, yeah, they probably get this from their parents, and then you'll see their parents, they're doing the same thing. So it's just like whites. It's just like whites. I'm not going to hold you. Just like how whites were doing that to them in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Now they're now doing it to the Africans. It's funny. It's honestly hilarious. I want to see what the ending is going to look like.
I say white nationalists and blackface at this point because they're delineating from the term African American and Black American to become the foundational Black American, right? And then when they do that, they don't have ties to Africa. They don't speak the language. They don't know the tribe. We can understand the ethnicity and how you can be honored about your struggle in America. But FBA's, remember this, MBS, their ancestors are Africans. Their descendancy is Africans. This is on their website.
Yeah.
So when you have an FBA hating on their own ancestors, whether so they think they're so far removed from the African continent because the only way they take up history is when they got here and got bred by white people, right? or now they're indigenous Americans as well, right? So there's a lot of like misconceptions, and they don't all have the same story, you know. But you know what they do have? The shit on African people. That's what they have in
They
common.
come together for that. They only come together for something negative. It's really funny. I mean, it's man, I really don't see how.
So MBS, they say they have a unique lineage, right? And it's European lineage, right? That's what the one they honor the most, obviously. Aboriginal now that they just added on the FBA website, and then the lowest common denominator, their last lineage was African. Right? But they have. So if you hear any FBA talking shit about Africans, just remind them about their lineage. It doesn't matter how far removed, how many years, like who set the standard for how you're not attached to the ancestors. The ancestors that were snatched from the continent went through the most horrendous things, right? Those people still have their languages, their culture, their names, and it was stripped from them, you know? FBAs are proud of that, and now they relate more with their indoctrination and how they integrated with YT, former slave masters. So they're like begging for that check, right? MBS.
Yeah, I would say so.
To that 40 acres and the mule, now called reparations. So just always remind an FBA that if they punch down on African people or African immigrants, always remind them, like, with that, whatever you did for Black people in the diaspora, you let YT women in to get rights. You let European immigrants get rights. But you have smoke for the last wave of immigrants, you know, India.
It's cowardice. It's definitely cowardice. They're choosing to pick on the weaker guy, you know, in their eyes, and this is in quotations, weaker. I mean, we're definitely stronger. We have our own countries. I mean, but even still, it's like, can they even build on their, you know, in their own communities? It's not possible for them. You know, how can they really have to sit together and see how can they achieve some sense of power. You know, and they're not like their ancestors, like their immediate ancestors, like Martin Luther King. They're not like that race. They don't stick together. They're not family oriented, especially now. You know, the culture in itself is just horrible. I mean, you can hear it in the music. You can see what's going on in their communities. You know, I don't see anything positive, positive at all.
Well, they're trying to relate to America, right? So they have to be the premium Black people, and they have to monopolize the term Black and American at the same time. They delineate from the term African American, which I'm going to reclaim, right, as an African and born in America. But here, MBS, let me introduce the newcomer up here.
Okay, bet.
How's it going, brother? Welcome to the panel. Can I get you to introduce yourself with your race, your ethnicity, where you're from?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
Yeah, I just came up here. I was just listening to what you guys were saying. Just say something very false. You guys always push lies on on
Wait,
Africans. What is that?
can you please introduce yourself though, brother, with your race, your ethnicity, whatever?
Yes. I'm 19. I'm from Senegal,
Okay.
and I feel like you guys are Caucasian. Are you guys
Okay.
white?
How do you feel? I'm not white. I'm Eritrean.
You sound like a
And
white person, and the other guy
I
looks
know,
like
but are you gonna judge people about how they sound
It's like
like?
you speak proper
Are we
English.
gonna be that? Are we gonna be that ignorant?
yeah, because I don't want to speak on black issues. We don't black
So
people. We
this is
don't
an
white
African panel.
people.
This is an African panel, right? So black issues are African issues as well. So I think maybe you're mixed up. You think that we're talking down to Africans or something like that?
No, and the way you guys were talking, you were saying they, like you guys don't belong to that community. I feel
So
like you guys are
who's
white.
they? Okay, so we're talking about white T people and black Americans within the white T structure, bro. All right.
Oh, you guys are white. I need to get out.
We're not white, bro. But
I'm
whatever.
Nigerian, man.
If you want to think we're white, that's fine, man. But we're not white. We're. I'm a first generation African. I'm Mexican as well, but I got black,
Okay.
Afro Mexican. So we got black people in Mexico.
Where you from in
Mom.
Africa?
And it's no fault for Black Americans. And this is just the FBA group, the FBA crew, the gang.
Well, so I don't know what he's. Are you here to defend FBAs, my brother?
No, I'm here to defend my people. You guys said
Who? So we are your
whatever.
people, though. We are your people. We don't sound like you, right? So you think that we're
No,
white
I'm
people.
from West Africa. You guys are Americans.
Okay, brother. I'm from East Africa. Like, why do
I'm
you?
from West Africa, man.
He's from West
Where
Africa.
are you from?
I'm
What's your country?
Nigerian. I'm Igbo from a number of states.
Yeah, brother, relax, bro. We're talking about the FBAs. You know what FBAs are?
Yes, because I feel like yes, I know who they are. Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. All right, we're not talking down on our African brothers and sisters from the continent, but we are being critical about these FBAs. You know, we still love Black Americans, African Americans that still have an affinity to Africa. We're only giving caution to the FBAs, you know, because we have to reiterate what an FBA is all the time. So I'm making a parallel between the NFL, the players, and how they conduct themselves in that organization with these foundational Black Americans that parrot this current administration about xenophobia, deporting, and supporting ICE and Trump and all that. Okay.
Okay, so I was mistaken. I apologize.
Yeah.
I need to.
No,
I hope you guys have a good night.
You're good, brother. You're good. So brother, do you want to answer a question on the prompt, my brother? Okay, he's
Yeah, you see, it's like I get a lot of I hop in a lot of panels, and you typically see like some people from Africa that haven't stepped foot outside of Africa to even form an opinion on on Black Americans. They've only seen movies and things like that, but they think they're just probably saints. They're not saints. So they just start defending them against people that actually have lived here amongst them.
I defended FBAs for a while. Then I caught on to what they were really doing. I was like, I'm gonna, because I did see a lot of ignorant African immigrants that come here and say a lot of shit about Black people in America through media or how they get integrated here. But I saw that this whole FBA thing was the opposite. They were doing the same thing to our people, right? To fit into favoritism within the white tea supremacy mindset or their policies and so on. So anyways, I tried my best to support FBAs at first, but then I understood what it actually meant and what they represent.
Yeah, I tried too in the beginning. I remember when I'm not sure if you've been on Obi's panel, but I was going at it with, I think, him and Jay in the beginning, because I was just like, okay, FBAs, okay, seems like they're delineating. It seems like it's a good thing for them, right?
Right.
And then, that's when I found out that okay, Obi's panel was in response to what was going on, what was being said.
Yeah, it looks like he's bullying. Like,
I thought he was just bullying. I was just
it
like,
really is a response, but he's funny with it. You know what I mean? But you're definitely right about that, MBS. And so again, we're not here to bash Black Americans or African Americans, 'cause those ethnicities or identities are not FBAs. You know, we have to make a clear distinction between the two, because this is why they're delineating. This is why they're delineating, right? MBS. They don't want to be. They don't want to be seen as African Americans, right? They don't want to even be seen as Black Americans. They want to be known as FBA.
American.
And so we tell them to hurry up and delineate already, so we don't have to confuse you.
We delineated because we were delineating. I was not gonna hold you. Like Nigerian Americans, we were delineating, and we did it in peace. I mean, we knew. We came over here, and it was nothing to it. We didn't make a TikTok about it. It wasn't this big thing. It's just at the dinner table we're saying, don't do what they do, something like that. Something along those lines. That's it. That's it. And it only needed to be said once, right? And you got it. So like it's man, I just don't see why it's this big thing. And maybe it's the grifting. That's why we keep seeing this thing. It's the engagement that they're looking. It definitely is. It definitely is the engagement that they're looking.
Yeah, and MBS, just remember that this is a small minority on TikTok, all right?
Yeah.
I always have to explain what an FBA is to a Black American on TikTok, let alone meeting an FBA in real life in person. They don't exist. They're not recognized by the government.
I've actually seen one in real life, in person. And this is at like some majority Black club. And, I guess he heard me saying the N-word to one of my boys.
No, you Africans can't use the N-word.
And then he looked at my ID. He was a bouncer. He looked at my ID and he was like, "Yeah, you can't say the N-word."
Heather.
I'm like, nah, no way. Nah, this is not real. I'm not
Tether's the real ER N-word right now, right?
Yeah.
Or even African. I feel like it's that too. But again, just remember, MBS, that they're doing this because, again, a check reparations, and they have to delineate, they have to distinguish between, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? MBS, we understand chattel slavery, but I like to not only start from there. Who said that we had to start from there? Your people got brought from West Africa. And so they think that all these years that have passed by under the thumb of YT people, that they deserve it more than any immigrant or any person coming here, and so they're not participating in the protests for ICE. They're not, and again, you don't have to. No one's like asking you to sacrifice your body or whatnot, but they're so bold out here talking about how we sold each other into slavery, and how this is how they disattach to Africa, right? But regardless of the fact, we're still out here. They can't deport us. It's not a big deal.
I feel like they make it a big deal. And like whenever they say, "Oh, you guys sold us," and stuff like that. I feel like they're actually being ignorant in the fact that they don't know what happened to those people, or what type of intimidation was going on at that time. They had these superior weapons. They came to the beaches, arrived on the beaches, just like what happened with the Native Americans. And it's like you can't really blame them at this point. If you did get sold, if you did get abducted, because that's what was going on. That's what I learned and what I knew, especially with in my family, because we're actually one of the people that used to help runaway people that are trying to escape these captures in my village in Nigeria. So from what I've learned through like my father and my grandfather before he passed, is that a lot of people used to run from the slave capturers and because they had these weapons, and then they would use this as an intimidation tactic for certain people who lived over there by those areas on the beach, to go and capture other Africans. That's who they used. So I feel like there's a lot of ignorance, a lot of whitewashed history too. There's just a lot of people not using their critical thinking skills when they do read something.
Yeah, America, lowest standard of education, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But regardless of that too, just like yeah, wherewithal and understanding the full aspect of everything. So there's just so many layers to it. K85 Stunna, my brother Stunna.
Sir,
Was it Stunna?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What was that?
Your name is Stunna?
Oh, nah.
MBS?
This is just my Xbox gamer tag, man.
Well, I got you. But yeah, you're dead on everything you're saying. I think that we're only aiding in the process, and they have the balls enough to talk about go back home, speak English, all that bullshit. That's where I draw the line in the sand. If you're a black MAGA, FBA MAGA, I don't get along with you, But they think that this is the time to do all this hatred and to push down on people.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, bro, I'm just here to defend it. I'm a little hungover right now. I'm not gonna lie, MBS. I just woke up.
I feel you, man. I feel you. You're gonna keep the panel up?
I will. I made you a mod. I'm gonna use the restroom. Wait until these FBAs come up, and you can, if you want to stay up, you can mod through it.
All right, definitely. I'll hold down the line.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna go wrapping up real quick. But I'll play something too, so you can have some.
Slavery, because black bodies in pain for public consumption, has been white American entertainment for centuries. Starting off with ownership, there is not a single NFL team owner that is black. There are only 2 people of color, and they are not black. About 66% of NFL players are black, and only 30% are white. Head coaches, however, majority white. Owners, white. Here's another graphic with more recent data from 2021. Number 2, black pain for profit. This is a depiction of 2 enslaved people fighting each other for the entertainment of the white slave plantation owners. John Finley, who was a freed slave from Alabama, talked about how plantation owners would match these slaves by size to pit them against each other, and that it was more for white folks' enjoyment. Number 3, trading and judging a black man's value based on the physical attributes and qualities that he can bring to the sports team. During slavery, white people would literally publicly humiliate black people by putting them up for auction in slave trades and would poke at their bodies. They would pinch their muscles to see how strong they were, to see how likely they would be for good physical labor for their profit. The NFL talks of players as an investment and wants to know their long-term longevity as an investment. Same thing happened during these slave trades because the slave owners wanted to know which person they could choose to have the longest investment in their plantation. Colin Kaepernick says before they put you on the field, the teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respect and no dignity left intact. Number 4, verbal and emotional abuse. This is Richard Mendenhall. He was a former NFL player that described being verbally and emotionally abused by coaches and by fans, and he actually quit because of the amount of racial slurs that he got. When Adrian Peterson compared NFL to modern-day slavery, Richard agreed. Number 5, physical health consequences. It's well known that during slavery, these slaves would be subject to physical abuse and causing injuries. There's a lot of injuries in football. NFL players have shorter lifespans and are subject to CTE or concussions, which cause brain shrinkage. These are NFL player brains.
And then the other one I wanted to show you was the patriotic.
They had a recruitment partnership, and nobody bothered to tell the public. So I was looking up something earlier, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, oh, so we were never supposed to catch this, were we? Because a lot of the patriotic traditions that we grew up seeing during NFL games, they weren't traditions, they were marketing. And here's where it gets weird, and by weird, I mean completely predictable. Those giant flag ceremonies, the emotional soldier homecomings, the pre-game salutes, the tributes, and the military hype moments that some of us really thought were spontaneous, a lot of them were paid for. Not by sponsors, not by teams, by the Department of Defense and the National Guard, aka your tax dollars. Not as charity, not as a thank you. These were line item recruitment expenses. It was literally, we pay you. You put this on the field. Young men watching feel something. And recruitment goes up. And the Senate's official phrase, not mine, the Senate said that it was paid patriotism. So let me give you the receipts because this is not debatable. Between 2011 and 2015, the Pentagon spent over $53 million in sports marketing deals. The NFL alone got $6.8 million for things like on-field troop tributes, halftime honor ceremonies, surprise reunion videos, players reading pre-written thank yous, service members running out of the tunnel, patriotism baked right into the broadcast. These weren't random gestures, y'all. They were deliverables written into contracts, measured, tracked, evaluated. This was not tradition, this was advertising. And here's the part that says everything about how propaganda works in this country. Most people had no idea that these moments were sponsored. The NFL didn't disclose it. Networks presented it like it just happened. The military didn't exactly volunteer the truth either. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the Pentagon was tracking the emotional impact like a metric. Did it boost interest in enlistment? Yeah? Okay. Do it again. And when the Senate exposed it and made the NFL stop taking the money, the visuals didn't change. Because by that point, the association was already built. Football equals patriotism equals military. The marketing had finished its job. So yeah, next time you see a flyover or a field-sized flag, this is the context. It might still feel moving. It might look patriotic. People might genuinely tear up. And all of that's real. Yeah, I'm not going to take that from you. But the moment itself, it didn't come from tradition. It came from a contract. A PR pipeline built to make military service feel familiar, emotional, and normal, especially to young men watching at home. Now, whether you see that as strategic or manipulative, or just America being America, that's up to you. But the truth is simple. A lot of what we grew up calling patriotism was really marketing.
Today, when in 1946, when the NFL was forced to reintegrate, because from 1933 to 1945, the all-white NFL didn't want any blacks in the industry. They said the black players were slowing down its growth. And then Fritz Pollard developed the Negro Football League. And after World War II, there was a big push for the Negro League to compete with the all-white NFL. So what they did was they took the good players from the Negro League and integrated them into the all-white NFL. And now, since 1946, the black players have taken it to $1 billion plus market, yet we have no owner within the industry. We are the record breakers and the trendsetters, yet we have no voice within the industry. NFL owners are guaranteed profits annually without even a fan going into the stadium, yet players have no guaranteed contracts. This is plantation capitalism going on right now.
This is the other sister too. Oh, hear this brother right here about breeding an athlete.
Most about how you got 3 kids to go D1 and 2 in the NFL.
They want to know, in general, how I did it. I believe in breeding. Look at you. Good athlete. I'm black, mom's white. Now, I don't step on it once. You can't keep stepping on it. because you're gonna mess it up. You're gonna weaken it.
You can't keep cutting it.
Can't keep cutting it now. No, you in Brooklyn, because Brooklyn's half.
If I
you
cut
got
it,
a chance.
if I cut it one more time, it's over.
You can't keep cutting it. You gotta be careful. You can't keep cutting it. You gotta think about that. You know what I mean? No.
I like how he's dead ass.
If I'm black, I got the black gold running through my veins. Oh, I'm excited. I'm just gonna find the right person to mate with. Right? And if I'm white, I'm saying, let me get one of these brothers around here. If you want to have athletes. If you don't have athletes, then just go ahead and just spread your seed wherever.
So why'd you cut it once? What else? Because he could.
I know I can cut it one.
Because he's gold.
I got that black gold in me. And mama got that big chin and big toes. I said, look, ain't nothing wrong with big toe woman.
Big chin. Who says a big chin?
You gotta think of this stuff. Some guys don't think of it until later. They go, like I'm standing at Pop Warner. You wouldn't know it. You on the field, and one of you guys on the field playing. And I was talking to a guy, told him this story.
All right. We got a new Byron. Welcome back up, brother. Can you introduce yourself? Dylan, brother. How are you?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Byron from Texas, FBA to the fullest.
FBA. All right.
Yeah, to the fullest.
What do you think about the prompt, Byron?
Let me see. I know you always got some bullshit stirring up.
All right.
Let's see.
Address any questions that you feel.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so who really decides? Okay, hold on. It says, who really decides your job or position in America? FBAs or YT corporations or owners? That's a great question, man. That's a real great question. Honestly, I would say it's a bit of a combination in a sense, right? So I think what a lot of people don't realize in this country, right, is that white tees are the face of a lot of power in this country, but they're not the pulse and they're not the influence of power in this country. And I know that is a little ambiguous and a bit hard to understand for somebody who hasn't grown up here and understand how things, I wouldn't say grown up here, but it's kind of like, I feel like black people power in this country is in the influence, right? In influence, like it was influence that got the civil rights passed. It was influence that got affirmative action passed. It was influence that got a lot of bills passed in this country and swayed a lot of the public opinion and even global opinion to a certain degree. And so it works hand in hand. Yeah, like I would say the white tee is has historically been the face of a lot of power here, right? But in terms of like the sway of how things move, man, black Americans have had a lot of power here too. It just it translates in a different way, huh?
Yeah, you're correct, Byron. But again, I'm making a parallel. I'm just trying to give you some context with the NFL, right? Black Americans have done a lot within that sport, right? Mm-hmm. And they're always within that system, right? They break barriers, but they're also not in charge, right? They don't decide. So question number 2 would be, if the NFL owner benches a FBA over a tether, do you have a vote, right? Do you have a say who gets in America and who doesn't, right? And a lot of the FBA rhetoric that we hear is like, who is black or who is American, right? But at the end of the day, they got invited here through the government, or they got here on their own merit, just like an African player playing for the NFL, right? And if you're benched, right, that has nothing to do with them recruiting an African to play a position, right? In this scheme of things, right, Byron?
You know what? I think what you're saying is correct I just think the analogy is wrong. So what I mean by that is the NFL is probably one of the most honest, the most brutal versions of pure meritocracy, right? That's the purest form of meritocracy because
Same with the military, right? Byron?
maybe not so much with the military. The military is still, you know, you can still have some nepotism in military. You can also have favoritism in the military. In the NFL, the NBA, these are pure merit based accolades that are typically given out. Now, I'm not saying that some people don't get their shot, right? But in anything outside of that arena, right, you're dealing with politics. And anytime you inject politics, you're dealing with unequal levels of meritocracy, right? In the sense
Kaepernick.
of, huh?
Kaepernick is a great example of that.
Yeah, to a certain degree. And I would say that blacks, right, I think we do play a major part in
Black Americans, Byron, or
yeah,
black people?
black Americans, I believe play a major part in how American sentiment is on immigration, right? Because you got to understand, prior to I would say like the 1980s, right? Or when there was mostly Hispanic immigrants here in the country, right? Blacks would fight with the Hispanics, right, to legitimize their immigration status. We fought on their behalf in a lot of cases, right? And I
How
believe
so? How so, Byron? How
we just
did
stood
black
with them. We
Americans?
stood with them. It was a real strong black and
How
brown
so?
coalition.
Give me a good example, Byron, please.
Yeah, so we number one, we rallied with them. So like let's say for instance, like when it would be anytime it was anything that was anti-immigrant, we would rally behind their causes a lot more than what we do now. We don't do it now. And I think
Can
as a
you give me
result
some
of us,
names? Can you give me some people in the immigrant black
yeah,
Americans that
absolutely.
left the
So
line?
Jesse Jackson, a lot of the black leaders, right? Jesse Jackson, all of the
Sharpen.
Black Caucus, yeah, Al Sharpton, the Black Caucus,
These are
a
all
lot of those
sellouts.
people.
These are all sellouts within even
No,
the
no, no,
black
no, no.
American community,
Not
Byron.
back then. Not back then. In context, right? So back then, those guys were considered, you know, they were considered respectable black leaders back then. Not anymore. But back then they were.
Byron, that's my biggest thing though, Byron. I don't like how you shun the people that did the work and they're not a part of what is new with the FBA movement, right? Like same with all the legends and the icons that we would blanket term FBA, right? Foundational Black Americans. Jesse Jackson did not create the term African American. A lot of people do think that, but it's something that would undermine what the FBAs are all about, right? So back then, when he did that, well, you assume he did that, right? But regardless of the fact, I'm just saying, Byron, these people.
He did. I mean, he was the major push that made it happen. I can literally send you a video of when they were.
I'll send you a DM too, Byron.
Yeah.
He was not responsible for the term African American.
He was the major catalyst for pushing it. It's kind of like he was the major catalyst. Yeah, obviously it was other people who coalesced around the term, but he was the major catalyst that made it official. You know, so to speak.
Made it popping.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, go ahead, Byron.
No, I was saying all of that to say this. I believe right now, right, in the midst of this delineation, right, I truly believe that if Black Americans were not delineating, what we seeing in Minnesota wouldn't be happening. It would not exist. it's our silence, right, that creates the atmosphere for those people to have to like get it out the mud on their own. And I
Why
believe
two
that it's
people are
gonna,
gonna attack all groups, regardless
yeah,
if
they're
Black
gonna
Americans
attack.
or not,
They're gonna
Byron.
they're gonna attack. But here's the thing, though, they're
They're
less
unaliving their
likely.
own people. They're unalive their own
Yeah,
people.
but they're less likely to attack if we're behind it. Like this, I'm telling you, and it's like this on a lot of issues. When we're behind it, right? It's a much less likelihood that they'll attack it, or yeah, it's just the way it is, and that's and I have historical context to even back that up.
And I see a bunch of videos of FBAs being like, "Do not get involved. You know, we don't have to fight for this. This is not our cause." You know, I'm not telling people to be a part of it because like everybody has their own thing.
It's not a righteous cause either, though. I
Livelihood.
mean, they stealing money, bro. Like
Well,
that ain't
but
something
Byron,
to
but the
get
FBAs
behind.
but the FBAs are putting videos out saying how you should not get behind this. You know what I
Because
mean?
it's not a righteous cause. If it was a
But
righteous cause and they were humble, I think we would be behind it more so. But there is not a
you had a
righteous
Black
cause.
American that was unalive by an ICE agent as well. You know,
Yeah, but that ain't. But they shouldn't have been there because the way we look at that is
it was a
why
it was a
you
it was an ICE
why.
agent that was off duty. Remember,
Yeah,
Byron?
but why are you protesting or even in the vicinity
He
of
was
that
not
when
even
these people are
protesting.
accused of stealing money
Byron, he
and
wasn't
they're
protesting.
unapologetic? These people are
Byron, he was
unapologetically stealing money.
okay. So ICE agents are just getting really out of hand, right? They think they have immunity. They do what they want. They're masked up. They don't have to identify. They're just
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So it just, anyways, regardless of the fact, if you were for Black Americans, I don't see no FBA marches for this Black American that was unalive by off-duty ICE agent, right?
It
But
won't
again,
be.
but Byron, I'm just saying, like that's a Black American citizen, like that has nothing to
Yeah,
do with
he's a goofy. No, he's a goofy. That's different. It's
who
an
is it?
unrighteous cause.
No, he never was protesting, Byron.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that was either at best an accident, right, or an unfortunate calamity that you know what I mean just shouldn't have happened. But people die every day. But that's not a righteous cause. People
Byron,
die every day. It's
people.
not a righteous cause.
Hey, who said that? Like, people die every day.
Tupac.
No. It was that other movie. It was uh, uh what was that fucking movie where he's like something B? You know, he's a New York dude. He's like people die every day. B. I
Oh
forget.
yeah, I
Anyway,
know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I
yeah. So
forget. It
okay,
ain't paid in full, right? Nah.
Byron. If it was Tyreek Nasheed that got unalived by an ICE agent, do you think FBAs would march out for him? Does it have to
Probably
be
not.
like
It got to be a righteous
Why
cause.
so? Why so?
Because they're going to say, why you a goofy ass out there?
Yeah. Why are you out in Africa eating jollof rice? Regardless of the fact, Byron, no one's saying. I get it. And I get the sentiment about how Black Americans have always vouched for everyone in the sense that, you know, in 2020, you know, with the deportations happening there and the Black Lives Matter movement, right, where you did see these protests, right? I'm not even for all protests, right, Byron? I don't think it really gets shit done. I think they're waiting for people to go out there so they can declare martial law, right, Byron?
Mm-hmm.
And it gives them more of excuse. And so I'm not saying to put people out there. What all I'm saying is like I see ICE as the police, you know, and Black people don't fuck with police regardless, right? When there's an injustice, there's just an injustice, and so but since all this immigration and deportation, legality issues and stuff like that, you still have Black people that again, part of the delineation is not giving a fuck about a black in the diaspora, a black Caribbean. Only
Not true.
so Byron, I'm just saying in general because part of the delineation is about only caring about yourself. Back to what we were saying. So this is all immigrants. ICE is going after Somalis, East Africans, right? So there's still black people in Africa, right? As a
I don't think
FBA,
black people are against black people, bro. I really don't. I don't think the general sentiment is to be
black
against
Americans
black
don't
people.
consider other black people black or American.
They do. They do. I think it's a hard line being drawn in the sand, right? That may be overdrawn, right, in order to establish a new set of order, right? But I do believe black people care about black people. I don't give a damn where they at, right? Because at the end of the day, black people are still the face of our exact image, no matter where, no matter. And I do believe that black people still have somewhat of a Pan-African spirit. We just want Africans to be great in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Not here because
Well, yeah. So
because
you should have the
they
same
get in the way.
you should have the
Because
same sentiment for white people going back to Europe and not in America. Same shit.
well, it's different. It's different. It's
How is it
different.
different? How's it
Because
different?
white people, number one, white people add value, bro. Like, here's the thing. Here's the
Add
uncomfortable
value
truth.
to their property. This is
No,
what
no,
I'm
no, no,
saying,
no, 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 no,
Byron.
no, no, no.
Byron.
White people add value to the world, bro. And
Foundational
this
white
is
Americans. I get it.
no. I'm saying in general, white people. You gotta understand, bro. At the end of the day, right?
They're running
It's
shit. They're the ones that run shit. Okay, so
They run
again,
not only run
so
shit,
FBA's
not only run shit, they provide value to the world, bro, on a
they're the
mass
ones
level.
paying off the tether. They're the ones that you guys complain about how the resources go to them. You're being undermined because they. Same with the NFL, Byron. You don't get to choose who's on the team, who's not on the team. You know, you get there through your merits and who invested in you. And I think I'm not talking about the people that migrate and stuff. I'm talking about people that get invited to America from their torn countries, right? You want people to go back and fix their shit before they come.
I think we do kind of control that. We just don't pull the lever.
You think you control it because
Well,
you have
you'll
an
see.
opinion.
You'll see. No.
Well, to this day, I just hear it, but I don't see it. Right? I hear a lot about how you guys will proclaim. You guys have an opinion, and that's fine, and it's valid. But like,
No.
really don't
The
have,
reason black immigrants are in this country are because of black folk. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
The 14th Amendment. I get it, Byron. But listen,
No, it ain't that. It's we literally. If we weren't the ones advocating for it, it would exist. That's a
okay.
fact.
How do you advocate for it?
Because we've always advocated for them. We've advocated for them.
How?
We were the ones behind, we were the ones that backed the immigration bill that got passed in 1965, right, with the civil rights. We wanted African immigrants here.
Okay, thank you. You said the civil rights. Okay, thank you, brother.
No, not because of civil rights. It was a immigrant. I forget the name of the bill off the top of my head, but it was a bill that got passed at that time where we were vouching for immigrants to come to this country.
It was amended with the civil rights or something.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we fought for that.
Regardless of the fact, 14th Amendment was legislated by white people, right? Even though Black Americans did do the footwork because there's a lot of pressure on white people and how they treated Black Americans. This is what, but regardless of the fact, Byron, the first wave of people that were allowed to come here where there was no smoke for these people, right? The white woman got her rights from her white man through the 14th Amendment. So that's what Black Americans did for the white woman, let alone European illegals that got here, right? Immigrants, right? But there's no smoke for them. They're all on code, Byron. They're all on code when it's time for them to be white, even though they're Italians, even though they're Okay, so just go with me on this. So there's no smoke for these people that got here through what Black people put forth with the 14th Amendment. Now we're hyper focused on the last wave of African immigrants.
because they getting on our nerves, and
bro, bro.
and they're
But
takers.
why not the Europeans that got here too with
Okay,
that though?
because they're not takers, right? They number one, they
They're
come in
movers and
humble.
shakers. They're movers and
No, no, no,
shakers,
no, no,
Byron.
no, no, no,
They
no, no,
got
no,
through
no.
your.
Let me give you some game. Let me
Go
give you
ahead.
some game on
Go
this.
ahead.
Number one, they're not takers. They're contributors, right? That alone, bro, is a big deal. Like they're not coming into the country looking at the country as an opportunity to siphon off all of the country's resources at the detriment of the country. They don't have that attitude. Africans have that attitude
The
naturally.
Europeans had to assimilate. They always looked like the bottom of the barrel, bro, until
Yo, but
they
they come in with a
assimilated, right?
contribution mindset.
So
It's
okay, so they can assimilate, but what Africans do is that they tether, right? So
they
part of
take
assimilate.
tether leech like
Listen, all of them do that. All of them do that, Byron. Not just
no no no
not
no
just
no.
our people from the continent of Africa, Byron.
I would say most their mentality coming in the door is extraction, right?
Byron,
They
that's an
don't
assumption.
have a communal add value.
We
Let's
have
all
heritage.
work
We have our
together.
culture. We have our tribe. We have our
Yes,
shit
y'all
together.
come tribal. Y'all come with a clan mentality, like a
Right. Well, listen, we're not from America, just like Europeans are
not.
not.
Yeah,
So
but
my
Europeans that
issue,
come here don't come here with that mentality. They don't.
they
They
are on white
assimilate.
tea. They're on white code,
Nah, it ain't white code, bro. It's
bro. Bro.
contribution.
All
It's
the Europeans.
contribution. They come in contributing. That's
How do they come?
that's
They undermine the people that
they
created the
don't.
14th Amendment. Byron,
They,
how did the white tea woman not undermine you? How did the Europeans that came here as the first immigrants that got here through your 14th Amendment civil rights? How
I'm
are they
saying
not?
on average, bro, they come in with a contribution mindset and they
How
actually
so?
contribute.
Examples. I need examples, Byron.
Well, okay, let's look at Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk came in. He came in from South Africa. He built one of the biggest companies in the entire world, right? He adds tremendous amounts of value to the American political system. He's donated billions of dollars to both political parties here in America. He's invested in infrastructure, created million, at least probably millions of jobs, right? So you're dealing with somebody, right, who adds value. Like
He's
it's
a
certain
South
things like
Africaner.
he
He's a
created
South
he created
Africaner,
the first
Byron. He's an
self-driving
African,
vehicle.
Byron. He's an African.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you asking me about,
Byron,
if you
I'm asking you about the first waves of European, not fucking Elon Musk, Byron.
okay, but I'm
Byron,
just giving you the white tea,
I
the
know, but I
white tea.
asked. Yeah, I asked for the first wave of them, not the recent.
Okay, I can give you tons. Like I can give you tons. I'd have to look it up,
It's fine. It's
but
fine. But think about how Elon Musk only let the white South Africans immigrate here and get refugees.
okay.
Right.
Man, at
So
the end of the
again,
day, Elon Musk has
we
added
don't have
so
a
much
problem with
value
that.
to America,
Fuck
bro.
Elon
Elon Musk
Musk
is
and fuck his
he.
Teslas, and there's already
Yeah.
issues with that. Like Byron,
What I'm
Byron.
saying is that's value. See, you don't view that
What?
as
How
something
so?
of
How so,
value.
Byron? How is it value? How is it value to you? Do you
Okay.
have a Tesla?
No,
Do you drive a Tesla?
I used to. I sold it. I had a Cybertruck, and I just got rid of it. It just didn't do good for my business. But here's the deal. Um, the point of what I'm saying is this, right? So number one, Elon Musk did PayPal. He helped with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT that we use today. Now he has Grok, right? He's helping us get to the moon. These are what you call tangible contributions. Most people think them being here is a contribution. No, fuck you. Leave. Like I need tangible things that I can say, you know what? As a result of you being here, the world is a better place in this regard, right? And so the black immigrant comes here with entitlement, insane level of arrogance and entitlement, but with zero contributions. So it's like You brought nothing to the cookout, but you the main one wanting to eat, and you entitled, and you got a funky attitude about it, and you ain't bring shit to the table. It's like, who the fuck are you, and why don't you leave? You're annoying because
Right. But we still have people in Africa that invent things, create things, right? So
No, we don't. Not really.
yeah, of course. Water powered that was already a thing in Africa. It's just like they don't allow those inventions to be like popular.
Man, that is an excuse.
Byron, no, it's not an excuse. There are
Yeah, that's a
plenty
big time
of
excuse.
people being unalive, even YT people that make things, create things, and they're not allowed to share it. Now, Elon Musk is connected. It's
I ain't got nothing to do with connections, bro.
It's not by chance
It's value.
that Elon Musk is here.
Nothing stops value, bro. Let me tell you something.
You're not. You sold your Tesla, bro.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is nothing stops value, bro. Nothing.
Byron,
he's
at odds with Donald Trump, Byron.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you is that wasn't his first rodeo. He brought a tremendous amount of value.
Have you heard his father speak?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
He has his views. He's weird. You know what I'm saying? But who cares? At the end of the day, bro.
I care.
Yeah, but that's words. I'm talking about value. You see, this is where you go wrong, right?
It's their ideology, Byron.
Ideology
it's not
and
about
value.
words.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'll take Tesla, and I'll take his words and Tesla any day. Like, this is what you don't get, right?
You align yourself with whatever's dominant, whatever's working.
No, I align myself with what benefits.
No. It doesn't sound like that, because there are African people that you can look up to that invent shit, that do shit in their country. All right, and they're there. They're already there. There are already Africans that do shit in Africa. It's not
okay. Where they at though? Where they at though?
Byron, they're not here.
Where they in here?
They're not here.
Well, that's pointless. It's pointless.
So
how does it serve me?
America opens its borders for everyone, Byron.
Yeah, but how does it serve me?
People on the border.
But how does it serve me?
Okay,
I'm telling you what
you know what
does
the economy, Byron. You need a workforce in America. You know, they get cheap labor. That's how they do things, right? We never punch down on the people that hire them, that exploit cheap labor, that use people in labor, but they do contribute, you know, to the economy in all the different industries. Byron, I don't have to name them all out.
I can appreciate the people who come in with the contribution mindset, right?
Of course, Byron. So that it'd be very dismissive. It'd be really dismissive for you to say that they haven't. Like,
but what I don't like is when people compare the two as if they're equal. Like, it's not equal. And it's disingenuous.
You're making that comparison with you though, and Black Americans in general. Like, that's not. I feel like they're pitting us against one another, Byron. I really even Claude Anderson said that, right? The person that coined.
I don't think we're being pitted. I think we're just recognizing certain realities, bro. It's not that deep. I think we make it deep because we get defensive and we get defensive instead of seeking the bare truth. Like, the bare truth is not that deep. It's not offensive. It's none of those things. It's just at the end of the day, bro,
it's convenient because it's current administration what they're doing to immigrants, Byron. That's why you guys have the balls to talk how you talk. Right?
Why? But here's
Byron, the administration backs you. The president backs you. No, I'm not talking to you, Byron, but the way how things are playing out right now, it just works out in your favor speaking like that. And it mirrors a lot of the things that are happening now. But instead of Black Americans being like, why are we parroting or having the same talking points, they go, everything that's happening in the government is because we are standing up for ourselves and we're delineating, and this is why it's happening. Not understanding that this is how the system works, and you're just aligning yourself with something that is the dominant power, right? And so that's my biggest issue, Byron. But Byron, you think it's your time, right? It's your time to do this while immigrants or other people, right, in America, you leave the white T-man alone, right, or the white, the white illegal Europeans alone. Only focus on the people that look like you, because that's what they do. They do divide and conquer tactics, Byron. I thought you knew, Byron.
Yeah. But look, my signal about to go out. About to hop on this elevator. You know what I mean? But shit, I may pop back
It's
in.
always good to talk to you, Byron.
Absolutely.
You stay up with that. Street sweeper. Wes, come up and answer some of these questions.
Be a tool of Donald Trump against me. We're going to waste our energy fighting each other, weaken each other, and make it easier for them to both exploit both of us. That's all I'm asking. If you can't help me, just don't stand against me.
Okay, you said I could talk. Now here we go. Let me tell you a story. My name is Albert Like. I'm born 1961. I'm 64 years old. I'm born in the project. You know them EBTs y'all talk about? I'm raised off of those. You understand that? That helped me get through Christmas, Thanksgiving as a kid. You understand that? Those EBTs that you talk about. Now get this. I couldn't wait to turn 18 because when I turn 18, I get to vote. I've been voting Democrat since I was 18. I done voted for everybody fucking right, because if I can't enjoy my rights, I can't enjoy my rights if somebody else's rights are being violated. So I fought for the gays, the Muslims, the Mexicans, the everybody. I fought for them, and I got nothing in return. Year after year, nothing but
I agree with you.
Back.
I agree with you.
Let me finish.
Yeah, I'll let you finish, but I agree with you.
I got nothing but respect. But now I want something for my people, right?
I agree with you.
I want something out the deal, right? Well, no.
Yeah.
I want something out the deal, right? I want something out the deal. I'm the hateful one, right? I'm the master.
You're not hateful for
I'm
that.
the Ku
For what you said, you're not hateful.
But hold on.
You haven't said nothing hateful.
Hold on. Let me finish. Watch. Because I'm about to. Because
why would you say you're about to? Why are you about to say? Just don't. Can you just not say something hateful?
Because I'm gonna tell you. Because if it worked, if it took me this long and my people got nothing, and now that I'm fighting for my people to have something, if that makes me KKK, and if it worked for them for 700 years, if it worked for me,
no, that does not make you KKK.
I'm good with that.
That does not make you the KKK. Bro, that makes you the opposite of the KKK. Bro, do you know what the KKK wants? That makes you.
That's what
if
y'all
you
call
fight,
me.
listen, Albert. If you fight for your people, if you fight for your people, you're the opposite. If you're fighting for Black Americans, you are the opposite of a KKK member. Nothing you said is hateful. Nothing that you said bothers me in the slightest. In fact, it's in my interest for you to do that. I want you to focus on your. Hold on, let me say this. I want you to focus on yourself. Listen, Albert. I want you to focus on yourself. You need to hear this. No, because you came up on the stage with a high blood pressure, already upset about some shit. Man, Listen. 1 second. I'll let you speak. Matter of fact, I'll give you Showtime right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a Showtime right now. But let me say this to you. You came on this stage with a high blood pressure, thinking that I'm against you and your people. I'm trying to tell you something, brother. Take a sip of water and relax. I want you to focus on your people. I want you to think about yourself first. I don't need you to think about me first. Trust me, I'll think about myself first. Think about yourself first. But what I'm saying is that when a white man is telling you to attack me and there is nothing promised for you in return, there is no reward for you to attack me. There's only a promise that, like, basically the only person that benefits in this is the white guy, right? You're wasting your energy on TikTok fighting me. I'm wasting my energy on TikTok fighting you. That is a net negative for both of us. Just think rationally. I don't even fuck with the Democrats, bro. Fuck the Democrats. These are Demo-cuck libtards. The Democrats did shit in Libya. Obama, first of all, the first black president of the United States wasn't even a black American. He was a Kenyan. Do you understand? Hold on. 1 second. Let me cook. The first black president of the United States wasn't even a black American. He was a Kenyan. He destabilized Libya, the same Libya that my people get enslaved in today. I hate the Democrats. I hate them. They are the worst. In fact, at least the Republicans just straight up tell me that they want to G-side my people, that they want to cleanse my people. The Democrats are fucking wolves and shit. Listen, they say if you scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds. Do you understand me? I don't care if you don't vote Democrat. Vote for fucking Cornel West. Vote for anybody. But do you think Donald Trump is going to save you? Did he give you a stimulus?
Okay.
Big guy, hold on, Yellow. I'm gonna let you get him. Hold on. Let me finish this, big guy. Hold on. Let me finish this. Let me finish my story. Because I started off poor don't mean I ended up poor. Any of y'all can go on my page right now. I worked at a college for 30 years. I got a plaque for helping my people. You understand that I put in work for my people. You can go see the plaque from a college that I worked at. See, big guy, I've been married for 35 years. I raised 9 kids. I worked at a college I retired from. Hold on, let me finish. I retired from that college. I got to send kids to college because I worked at a college. So now all them got degrees. You understand? I don't have to work in my life. I don't have to do anything. My house is paid for, all that, buddy. I don't got to do nothing. It's just me and my wife. My wife got 30 years as a computer tech at a college. She can make games for me for the PS5, bro. I'm good. I'm not playing victim. I'm not crying. I'm just saying how it is as a black American. You understand? And I did that without an education. Since y'all, wait a minute. I did that without an education since you motherfuckers want to throw your education in my face. All the time.
Congratulations. That's impressive.
All that without
That's impressive. Congratulations.
All right, so this is all I want to say.
Wait, hold on. Yellow, 1 second. Is that all you had to say, Albert? If you think I'm going to be upset that you were successful, that you managed to make it out the mud, bro, congratulations, bro. I'm not a hater. I'm not bitter. I love your people, bro. I don't have an issue with your people. When I grew up in America, my parents were refugees. My mom is a refugee of war. My dad's a refugee of war. When I came to America, you know who accepted me? It was black Americans. I don't know why you have an issue with me and coming up on this stage thinking that I'm the main threat to your prosperity. Like I'm the one trying to hold back your 40 acres and a mule. I don't want that. I want you to get what is yours. You understand me? If it was up to me, Albert, 1 second. If it was up to me, I swear to God, I don't care if this puts me on a watch list, bro. If it was up to me, I would balkanize America, give you guys Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, and I would make Atlanta the capital, and I'd give you guys your own fucking country. I would give you your own country.
Albert,
you take that personal.
Hold on, guys. It's my turn, bro.
Albert, I know, Yellow, you've been talking. Stop it. Albert, you keep saying UMFers. Who are you talking to? You ain't talking to nobody on this panel. You know what I mean? So watch your words.
You're right, sir. I got into the moment as a black American, and you're right.
I will watch my word, because if you did me like that, I would come at you the same way. So you deserve the same thing. I'm asking for.
Respects. All I want to say is this. This is the only
No problem,
issue.
no problem, OG. No problem. I got no issues with you, man. Just, you have to understand, you got to hear us out, bro. That's all I'm asking you. But go ahead, Yella. Sorry, I've been cutting you off. Go ahead.
All right. No, that's all good. This is the only thing that I would have to say. In regards to the immigration issue, like, I think where I draw the personal line is this. If I can't come to your country and run for office and hold a politically held office in your country, please don't come to this country and try to hold any political office, set the tone, rework something. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Unfortunately, Yella, let me tell you
don't do it.
Yella, unfortunately, listen, Yella, 1 second. Unfortunately, hold on, Yella. Unfortunately, that's just not going to happen, brother. Because first of all, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm trying to get in your head.
Hold on. Then we're gonna have some beef then, because
that's fine. Let me explain why. Let me explain it, and then you can tell me why there's going to be beef. Let me tell you why that's not going to be the case. This country was not made by anybody else. The United States of America, with the Constitution that we are under, which is an inherently racist, violent Constitution, right? It is a violent Constitution, right? This United States of America was created by white people. Do you understand me? White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Okay, hold on 1 second.
I got it.
Hold on. The white Anglo-Saxon Protestants created this country, right? G-sided Native Americans, forcibly brought over Black Americans in mass droves and did heinous things to them, right? Heinous things to them, historically disenfranchising them for hundreds of years, even after slavery with Jim Crow and whatnot, right? These people created this country. Not only did they do that to you guys and the natives, then they started an empire, a new world empire, came to my country, came to countries like Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, whatever, funded T groups, funded all these things, destroyed our countries, extracted our resources, our human capital, our material, our natural resources, what have you, forced us to flee and come to America. Now, I understand you have more claim to America than me. I have a country back home that I claim. That's true. But at the same time, this country of America, might makes right. There is no morality here. Do you understand me? I'm going to get it where I can get it. I'm not going to try to step on your toes. At the end of the day, I'm going to try to work with you as much as I can. But where my interests and your interests where my interests and your interests don't align, they just don't align. And I respect you for doing what is good for you. And you got to respect the game, respect the player for me doing what is good for me. At the end of the day, listen, hold on. The game is game, bro. If I can become the president of the United States, hold on, Yellow. Let me just lay my point. If I can become the United States president of the United States of America, do you think I'm not going to take that opportunity? You think I'm not going to seize that opportunity for power?
Listen, okay, but my biggest point in the beginning, you stated your case. I respect your case. You understand what I'm saying? I can't go to an African country and hold any position. I can't.
That's not true.
It's very rare.
That's not even
maybe
true.
Liberia.
You know what's funny?
Maybe Liberia.
You know what's funny? The president of Nigeria right now was an ex-drug dealer from Chicago with active cases still in Chicago. He is literally an ex-Chicago drug dealer who sold crack.
I'm not.
I swear to God, you can go look this up. The current president of Nigeria, the one who's working against Burkina Faso, hold on. The current president of Nigeria, the one that's working against Burkina Faso, the head of state of that yam-eating country, you understand me, is an ex-drug dealer from Chicago who is working on the behest of American and French interests against Ibrahim Traore.
Is he African? Is he African? Yes or no?
Like
I
you
don't give a
African?
damn if he's from Chicago. Is he from Africa? Yes or no? This person you speak of that's doing all this corruption.
Are you African descendant, Yella?
News, can I speak?
My people.
Go ahead, Uppity. Go ahead, Uppity.
Uppity. Go ahead, Uppity.
Yeah, I don't get, this is the type of rhetoric that made me want to come up, and I don't understand it. And it's only highlighted to African immigrants. Trump is an immigrant. He comes directly from immigrants. His wife is an immigrant.
Correct.
And I haven't seen the same thing. I haven't seen the same thing of, he's a tether. He shouldn't be president. I've seen a lot of FBAs and a lot of foundational, whatever, really rally behind Trump's policies. They never question that. They never say, oh my God, he's an immigrant. The reality is the system of America, right? It's called a melting pot. It was built on that principle that if you are born an American in America's soil, you are an American. Any African that runs for public office, they're obviously not going to have like that they're
Sorry,
African.
can I just say this real quick? Let me just say this real quick. Guys, could you tap the screen? Hold on 1 second, yo. I just said, can I say something real quick? Yo, tap the screen, guys. Can you guys get me up to like 10K? I got 100. Damn, I didn't even notice my viewers. I got 181 viewers in here, guys. Can you tap the screen? Get me up to like 10K. You know, for the people that are bothering to send, to talk on the stage, if you like what they're saying, send them a gift. You know what I mean? Follow me. I'm trying to grow this account. I got my other accounts banned, so thank you guys though. I appreciate you guys for listening. Go ahead though, Uppity. I cut you off.
Yeah, it's something I just don't understand. Like the principle of America, right? It's a melting pot. It's built by immigrants, and that's just a reality. So anyone that's running for public office, there's obviously policies that keeps that in check, right? You can't run for a presidency, right? You can't run for office as a president if you were not born as an American. Or that's just it, right? There's no immigrant that came here 5 years ago.
America Wait a minute, immigrants. We're not immigrant. You called me an immigrant. We were. No. What I'm saying.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You called me an America never immigrated.
Hey, Albert, you're fighting a lot of demons, so I can only.
I bet I am. And you one of them.
Yeah. So let me address one person at a time.
Okay, go ahead.
Guys, let the lady speak, man. This is a lady, man. Let's do some composure.
People in America aren't immigrants because we were captured. Those of us who were part of the Atlantic slave trade, we weren't immigrants.
Matter of fact, bro, I'll cut through. Yalla. You weren't just captured, bro. You were sold. You were sold by your fellow
Africans.
That's
not even the point that I'm making.
That's a lot of
it. That's the point here. Stop calling us immigrants. We're not immigrants.
No one called you an immigrant. Listen to this slowly. Listen to what I'm saying.
Let her finish.
Everybody can. So you're upset that. So you're upset that Donald Trump.
Give me a second, guys. My bad.
So you're upset that Donald Trump was talking about he don't like the Somalis and he don't want them over here, and y'all are upset that Black Americans don't have any empathy towards that sentiment that he made because of all the anti-Black racism that we receive from other Black foreign groups. Is that what y'all are upset about?
It's not empathy. You guys are also saying we stole some shit from y'all. Like, you guys are complaining like we stole some shit. It's crazy. I've been seeing multiple different accounts making videos saying deport them, do this, do that. Our thing is, we're not lawmakers. We didn't write the Constitution. We didn't disenfranchise you. We didn't put you in Jim Crow, segregation, slavery. We didn't do any of this. So why do you guys have so much smoke for other people, other minorities, but you guys don't have
Tariq. This guy Sirius has not told us his politics. He has not told us his ideology. He has not told us how he feels about this. Let's not ask leading questions that make assumptions about who he is.
All right, fair point.
Go ahead, Cyrus. I mean, if you want to answer, you can answer it. But let me just tell you, at the end of the day, this live is about the fact that Trump is pushing anti-Somali rhetoric. Anti-Somali rhetoric is highly correlated with anti-Black rhetoric, anti-Muslim rhetoric, Islamophobic rhetoric, right? Because the Somalis are a predominantly Muslim community. They make up less than they are 0.0013% of the entire United States population, and the majority of them are first-generation citizens. They are the children of immigrants. They have citizenships in the United States of America. And as a Minnesota, Minneapolis, Somaliapolis, Rear Mogadishu citizen, right? As a person who lives out here, who's lived out here with my boys, my Musas, my Hajis, my whatever, bro, they are a net positive to my city, right? And they're trying to basically cause issues with the Somalis. They just need a scapegoat, right? And this is mainly pushed by Zionists, right? And whatnot. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to talk about. My country is Eritrea. We haven't been pushed as hard in terms of rhetoric by Trump, but we have been put on a travel ban list to the a green card ban list to the United States. We were on Trump's first Muslim ban list, even though my country is 50% Muslim, 50% Christian. So I stand with Somalis. These are my brothers in the horn, you know? Matter of fact, if he was doing this to Ethiopians, I'd be standing with the Ethiopians too, for the record. But go ahead, Cyrus.
Say something. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think anybody, especially Black Americans, is over here happy that he feels that type of way about it. I mean, you're gonna have some twos and fews Black Americans, like that one dude who called up was gonna be like, good. But for the most part, Black Americans, like we're too much of humanitarians. I mean, for the whole reason why other Black people was able to gain access over here was because of the civil rights that people fought. I mean, you have people all the time, Black Americans being shown in videos and online, constantly trying to support, and in real life trying to support these.
I agree with you, 100p.
But the thing is, when it's not reciprocal, it could feel like, okay, well, fuck it then. Like since you want to come over here and spew the same anti-Black racism, go ahead and let Trump handle you, because you over here acting you had some. Well, hold up. You thought you had some form of superiority over us, and now you're getting treated just like the niggas, and now you want to get upset.
Hold on, bro. Let me show you something real quick. Since you're talking about not reciprocated. Mind you, I know quite a bit about African history. One, Somalis are probably in my top 5, if not top 3, most Pan-Africanist African populations in Africa. Somalis were against apartheid in South Africa. One of the first people to be against apartheid in South Africa. Somalis helped my country, Eritrea, while it was in a brutal war. Somalis stopped a war between two predominantly Bantu countries. I forgot, it was Tanzania and one other country, right? And then on top of that, that's just in Africa. Let's show what the Somalis were doing in America. Look, we're talking about not reciprocated. Look at this nigga.
Talking about that.
They find him guilty. I hope they find the other people guilty and the other police. Black lives matter! Muslim lives matter! Somebody matter! Black lives!
Okay, yeah, it's very performative. Very performative.
Yeah, this is a guy from the George Floyd protest, by the way. The same protest I was at, by the way. You want to talk about reciprocated? It's not just the Somalis. It's my people, too, for the record, right? This is me on Vogue magazine. I went global, baby. I went global, first of all, right? So the Somalis, they reciprocate that stuff.
Oh, my fault. That's a woman. My bad, bro. My bad.
No. Bro, come on now.
Cyrus, stop the foolishness. There's ignorance on both sides. We already said that, Cyrus, okay? And we're not gonna subscribe to anything that is ignorant. So for you to tell us your anecdotal experience with Africans,
then y'all try to say it's on both sides because you try to justify the anti-Black racism that y'all already
we call out the coonery. We call out the coonery on both sides. Stop it, Cyrus. Don't do that.
It's one-sided. The hate is one-sided. We don't even be thinking to hate on other. We're such excellent people. We don't even be thinking to hate on other people.
You know how I know that's not true? The guy that was just up on here, the one that crashed out on, what was his name, man?
An old ass nigga that look weird.
Yeah. But you're using individuals, right? Your evidence. What's your evidence? Wait. Do you have an evidence of like an organization or a government of Somalia that has done anti-Black things to you? No, you don't. All you have is evidence of what? A couple trolls on the internet said that your hair looks a little bit nappy, a little bit kinky. Wake up, brother. My hair's kinky too. They say the same thing to me. You come to my country, you go to Ethiopia, they're going to say the same thing. Korchach. We call you that too. Bro, at the end of the day, it is what it is, bro. Just because a Somali called you Jareer doesn't mean that they don't stand with you, bro. Sorry. It's internet trolling. You need to be able to separate the wheat from the shaft, brother. You need to be able to separate the wheat from the shaft.
Y'all tribalistic. That's the point. We're the only Black people on this continent that look at other Black people like we're family. Y'all don't look at each other like that. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. Instead of trying to worry about what
we got problems in Africa. I already told you. We're going to work on that. Yes, we're going to work on that. Yes. And we're going to try to not step on your toes. We're going to figure that out, right? And you guys got problems in America. And I want you guys to work on that. And I want you to focus on yourselves. I would like to see you richer. I want to see you 20 times richer. I want your 40 acres and a mule. But at the same time, you don't got to act like I'm the one that is causing your problems. And I don't got to act like you're the one that's causing my problems. That's it. Simple.
I never said that. I never said that. It's from what I'm assuming, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like y'all are upset that y'all don't have this unwavering support from Black Americans. We've already made this very clear during COVID. We're not putting nobody else.
No.
We made it very clear.
No. Let me be very, very, very clear. I do not need your help. My people do not need your help. My people are Landere. My people do their shit. We do our Dougie. We go fight wars. Do you understand me? High testosterone. We had civilization. Do you understand me? I was out here conquering Arabs and shit. I was a pyramid builder and shit. You understand me? I'm from the land of the gods. These Egyptians was calling me their gods and shit. Yes, I am a king. Okay? My people, we fight wars. We don't dance with our hips. Okay? We smoke cigarettes and wear fitted Macy suits. That's what we do. You understand me? I'll try my best to help you because I like you, because I like your community, because I feel connected to you, because we both got hit with the same racialization by these Wadans, these fucking Hellions. We got hit by this black shit. But listen, when I don't have the time to help you, don't get mad at me. And if you don't got the time to help me, I won't harm you. All I'm asking you to do is not side with the KKK. That's all I'm asking you to do. Not side with Donald Trump. Don't side with Donald Trump when he's talking about deporting Africans. Don't side with him. He's not going to deport Africans and then give you a stimmy for it. He's not doing that. Just don't stand on my enemy's side. That's all I ask you. And especially don't stand on my enemy's side when they're not offering you anything. It's not like they're going to give you something for it. That's all I ask.
That's where we draw the line in the sand, my brother. That's
y'all always trying to act like it's your fault. I don't understand how it's your fault.
If we like literally invade Minnesota, how is that a problem to the African Americans, bro? You don't come on, bro. Like people coming up here speaking, talking in white supremacist talking points. They are invading us. African Americans say they are invading us.
I'm making up non-existent scenarios.
Not your colony.
We will make it a reality. Whether your grandchildren will see it or not, you will see Minnesota.
And it's like y'all just lie too much.
Well, I see you're also threatening, bro. Like the white man. I don't know, bro. We're not taking something that belongs to you. So,
bro, I'm not going to Atlanta and calling it Little Asmara, bro. I'm sorry. You can keep East Atlanta, bro. That's yours, bro. It's all yours, big bro. You don't gotta worry, man. Slow down. You don't gotta eat it too fast, man.
East Atlanta's yours, man. Pause on that.
Louisiana's yours, man. That's not my shit. I don't claim it. I'm just here to loot. Hey, this country, the United States of America, and its government fucked up my region, fucked up my people, fucked up my. I'm here to loot this shit. I'm here to get my get back. You understand me? And I'm not taking money out of your pocket. No, I'm not coming to the NBA and stealing 100 mil from a LeBron. I'm not going to Oprah Winfrey show and stealing money out of her bank account. You understand me? I'm coming here to get my lick back. You understand me? From the white.
For the most part, like I said, you real passionate and everything like that. You definitely sound like that you are a good ally to have for Black Americans. But here's the thing. You use damaging words when you're painting a bad narrative when you make it sound like it's this two-way thing. Like
it is a two-way thing, bro. What are you talking about? I can admit to my people. You don't want to admit to your people? You don't want to admit that there's some bro, I'm sorry, I'm about to say a bad word. You don't want to admit that there's some ignorant people in your community? There's ignorant people in my community. I tell you that forthcomingly. I have to deal with them all the time. I know black. I'm better than you. I'm just Queen of Sheba. I deal with that shit on a daily basis.
Solutions. Niggas, let's hear his solutions.
We have black people that do so much more for the community, for everybody when it just comes to like civil rights, for just being a human being. Black Americans were always the pioneers of doing stuff like that. But like I said, now that we see that they don't feel, go ahead and handle your own. Don't get upset.
Bro, we're not the same. Let me tell you this right now. We're not the same. I'm not the same as you. Okay?
Who's y'all's leaders?
Huh?
Who's y'all's civil rights leaders that actually was out here putting in work like Black Americans did? I mean,
I'm not a Black American. I'm African.
We don't ask other people's permission to recognize ourselves as human beings, bro. We don't need no fucking civil rights leader and shit. We know what we are.
Yeah, he's right. Honestly, he's right. He's right, bro. When my rights are being removed, do you understand me? When my people got their country annexed and stuff like that, you know what we did? We didn't go out and protest and all that stuff. No disrespect to y'all. If that's the method that works with y'all, that works with y'all, right?
We did more than just stomp.
Listen. I'm not saying you didn't. I seen the Black Panthers, man. They are boss. I like the Black Panthers, for the record. But I'm saying my people picked up Kalashnikovs. You understand me? They were smoking cigarettes in mountains, head tapping, 20 to 1 KD ratio. You understand me? My niggas was putting in work.
Bro, you ain't never seen all these Black American military movies. Stop playing with me, dude. Stop playing with me, bro.
Bro, who's playing with you? Who's playing with you?
The Marines.
Like, I'm not the same as you. I'm not a Black American. I didn't have to fight for civil rights in America because America is not inherently the land I'm indigenous to. I might have been born here, and that makes me a native of America, but I'm not indigenous to America. I don't have the only thing I'm here for is to get my lick back. My lick back. One second. Let me finish.
All right, let's finish. My bad.
Listen. My point here is to get my lick back and to go back to I don't intend on dying on this godforsaken soil. I don't intend on dying in this Babylonian country, this new Babylonian country. I intend on dying in my country back home. That's my plan. But I'm going to get my lick back. I'm going to loot this shit. I'm going to get a good degree. I'm going to get a good job. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do my Dougie. I'm going to be a little Black excellent child. You understand, in America. And I'm going to go back. And listen, my point is very simple at the end of the day, right?
Y'all come here for the opportunity that we built for y'all, and then y'all be disrespectful on the back end, talking about
who is disrespectful, bro? Calm down, man. Who's disrespectful?
Brother, who's disrespecting you?
Who's disrespecting you, bro?
You just like Albert.
Why is this nigga crying?
You can't cure. They will always feel victim, bro. No matter what. We are fighting the same guy, bro.
Military, y'all were drafted in the front lines. I heard all the shit. Like, stop. That was a sacrifice you did for the white man, not for us, not for all of us.
Who insulted you, bro?
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm not talking to them. I'm gonna talk to you, niggas. I'm not gonna talk.
Did I insult you?
No. Bruh,
so why are you crying about being insulted?
When you're saying stuff like, "Oh, we didn't have to do this," you're implying that.
What did I say? What did I say that I didn't?
You know what you implied when you said that.
What do you mean? What did I imply?
Hey, no offense to what you guys did.
Am I talking to a man right now?
No offense, bro. Relax.
Bro, you sound like, bro.
No, for real though, you hella sensitive.
No. Hold on, vibes. 1 second.
No.
Bro, you sound like, bro, you're getting catty, bro. Just talk to me like a man. Say it with your chest, bro.
I'm quoting what you just said, hoe ass nigga. I'm quoting what you just said.
Man, sit down, man. Fucking Kahba. Sit down, man. Fucking you're so mean to me. I built this country. Why you wearing Jordans, man? That's my shit. Man.
Bro,
get out of here. I'm tired of these fucking people, man.
Bro,
immigrants.
This is why.